Today we're talking about 5 reasons bullies regret messing with the INFJ. INFJs growing up have always been the center attention of bullies. Like, it's not that there aren't other people that bullies are attracted to, but every single INFJ has experienced this at least once in their life. Most of the time, much more often. But the truth is, now we're adults. Now we have learned a lot. Now we know not only how to handle bullies, but we have so much experience that in the end, we actually come out on top. So today we're looking into the 5 reasons bullies regret messing with an INFJ. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Reason number 1 why bullies regret messing with an INFJ is because the INFJ simply doesn't care. One of the reasons why bullies bully is because they get something out of it. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel superior. And in order to feel superior, they have to make somebody feel inferior. They have to make somebody feel bad about their choices, about who they are, about their entire dynamic. And if an INFJ is being bullied, guess what? This is not the first time. The INFJ knows why it's happening. The INFJ knows that, oh, I'm different. People who don't have the confidence to really stand on their own, they need that other person to bounce like that energy off. And they might look at me for that. But, that's a mistake, because I not only have had the experience of what it's like to be bullied, I also know why I'm being bullied. And on top of that, I'm really good at reading people. So with all of that, the INFJ knows what's going on. So the INFJ cannot really be bullied. Most of the time, INFJs learn to be really casual about this, still try to create a harmony, not say anything back. But with time, INFJs learn that that's not even enough. If you have a bully in front of you, the only way to make that person really stop is to give them their own medicine, meaning to mirror back what they're doing to you. But even if an INFJ hasn't really built the confidence yet to stand up to a bully in a way that makes the bully feel bad, the INFJ is definitely not in a position where it would really hurt them. Like, we just know too much, we've experienced enough, and that is something that the bully really doesn't like, to be across somebody who just isn't faced. Reason number 2 why bullies regret messing with an INFJ is because INFJs really want to take care of others. INFJs want to protect others, and it's something that is within our soul. It's not even something that you might say is because we're so altruistic and we're such good people. I believe, every type has good people and has bad people. That's not it. But the thing is this, we as INFJs are very aware how something makes others feel. Again, it's not necessarily because we're such good people, it's because we're so skilled at it. We know what's going on. So if somebody else is being bullied around us, we feel it. It's like they're hurting us. And we have conditioned ourselves to feel this way. So this is not always a good thing, but it's a fact. We do feel it. And it's much easier for an INFJ to stick up for somebody else than it is to stick up for themselves. So if you see somebody else being bullied, and on top of that, you know why the bully is doing that, and that it's just a sign of weakness, the INFJ will get into it. They will not stand for it. And if this happens, the bully has really no chance. Because now the INFJ doesn't feel bad for the bully at all. Like, they might feel bad for them in a way if the bully was bullying them, and they didn't want to return like that meanness. But once the INFJ sees that the bully is letting out their frustration and anger towards somebody else who didn't do anything wrong, the INFJ will fight back. And they will use all their knowledge of why that person bullies, what their weaknesses are, and so on, in order to make the bully aware of this is not something you want to be doing again. Because guess what? You as a bully are not going to feel good afterwards. Reason number 3 why bullies regret messing with an INFJ is because the INFJ is really skilled at understanding why they're bullying. They know that the bully has insecurities, and they know which ones they are. They know that the bully cannot stand on their own, that they need people around them who actually fear that person, who look up to them, who really allow the bully to put others down in order for the bully to feel good. Every single person who needs to do these kind of things is not a person who stands strong on their own. That's just a fact. If you are confident in who you are, if you know what you bring to the table, if you're happy with who you are, you're never ever going to go out of your way to make somebody else feel bad. And the INFJ knows that. We're probably one of the best types, if not the best type, to spot that kind of behavior. We know what's going on because you've experienced bullies in your life. It's not like every bully has the same insecurity. We can differ from that. And once you know what's really going on there and why they're acting this way, guess what? The INFJ can spotlight this. The INFJ can bring it forward. The INFJ can actually make the bully feel like, I know what you're doing and I know why you're doing it. And here is how I interpret your behavior. It's weakness, and I'm not falling for it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you as an INFJ have to say these things verbally, but we are really skilled at making the other person understand what we are understanding, what we're seeing. It's the way we interact with them. It's the way we react towards their behavior, right? Sometimes we can actually come off as, oh, I want to protect you, poor bully. I see that you're struggling. Those kind of behaviors. It makes bullies incredibly uncomfortable and they might lash out for a second. But if you really stick with it, with your version of reality, with what you know and why that person is doing that, and you're not falling for their agenda or their narrative, you'll see the bully will just crash. It is the one thing that they cannot stand. Reason number 4 why bullies regret messing with an INFJ is because the INFJ completely ignores the bully's authority. Bullies thrive on the fact that they have a social standing. It's not like they're this independent person, they're this lone wolf, and then they just put others down and then they do things on their own. Every single bully has people who look up to that person, who want to be in their sphere of influence, who want to be protected by the bully. Pretty much saying like, oh, that person bullies me, but at least I'm being protected towards other bullies in the real world or in the outer sphere or whatever it may be. That's how a lot of people feel when they stay close to this bully. And it doesn't mean that this necessarily has to be a friend or somebody who they follow on social media. It can be a boss. It can be, a coworker. It can be a person in your friend group that everybody has just announced as the leader. And the people who are accepted in that person's sphere, in their friendship group, in their psychological circle, are people who look up to that. That does not mean that you necessarily have to, change jobs or anything like this. I've experienced this myself, like when I was at a big company and there were a lot of partners, and there was this one partner who I worked with, and that person was a bully, and I wasn't standing for it. I didn't look up to that person. I didn't have any respect for that person because the way they were acting was just so against everything that I believed in, and that person was aware of that. And so what happened is that person just, distanced themselves to me. Like I was still doing my work. What we had to work together, we did. But the next time they just chose somebody else who would do their dirty work for them. They didn't choose me because I wasn't there to support their hierarchy. And INFJs don't do this in general. Like we just don't fall for this game. We don't want to be part of that circle. Even if that person is around us and there's nothing we can change about it because, for example, they're a family member or they're somebody that is at your workplace, we definitely can tell that there's a game they're playing and we're not buying it. It's just not the way our mind works. We always look behind the curtain. And this is so obvious to us that there is no way for us, even if we wanted to play into that. We could pretend we do, and some people don't really realize that, but in the end, we know we're not falling for it. And this is one of the things that makes the bully feel incredibly weak, because the only thing that makes them feel powerful in that instant is that they're able to make others feel less powerful or inferior to that person, and to have people actually accept the fact that this is the person who's in charge. They say what goes and what doesn't, and that they have the free reign to act in any mean way they want to because there is no other choice for them. Like it's psychologically not possible for people to, just pretend like that person has no power, because in the end, they actually are drawn to that. They feel less powerful than that person. This is something that will barely ever happen to an INFJ because, again, it's just not the way our mind works. We always look at it from an observer's perspective. And so once the bully recognizes it, guess what? Their entire card house falls down. Because the only reason why they believed they were powerful is because every single person in their surrounding is giving them the feedback of, yes, you are powerful. But once they see somebody who reflects the truth, they cannot pretend it's not happening. The only way for them to really ignore it is to distance themselves to you. So this is one of the instances where a bully will definitely regret messing with an INFJ because it will make them question themselves, something they barely ever do. And reason number 5 why bullies regret messing with an INFJ is because INFJs will leave the bully in the dust. There's one thing that happens every single time an INFJ is confronted with a bully. Every single time they have some altercation, any kind of intense emotional reaction they have to have. Like even if an INFJ is in between those phases where they still feel bad, they don't want to, get out and really confront the bully. Like there's still tension because they don't want to rock the boat. Once an INFJ is forced to show their hands and to show that they know what that person is doing because they feel like the bully will not leave them alone if they don't, every single time the INFJ grows. Every single time the INFJ recognizes that they don't need to play that game at all. There's always a new level of growth once an INFJ is forced to confront a bully. And so because of that altercation, because of that confrontation, the INFJ recognizes that they're even more powerful than they thought. And that gives them even more independence, more power, and it helps them to tap into their potential even more. Every single INFJ that I've talked to who's been in that situation tells me the same thing. I was able to get to the next level. I actually grew to such an extent that that bully wasn't even somebody that I saw in my rearview mirror. I was just on my way and kept moving. And this would have never happened if the bully never went out of their way to confront the INFJ. And trust me, leaving a bully behind like this, showing the bully that you not only do not respect them, but on top of that, you actually bypass them and you do your amazing things and that person is left in the dust, that is really, really hurtful for the bully because they are watching. And that is one more reason why the bully regrets messing with an INFJ. Remember, if you want some more guidelines how to tap into your potential and live out your INFJ Epic Life, then check out the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula and get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video on the 5 types of people who cannot stand the INFJ.